you thinking about selling your home and just having a hard time finding the right person to help you do it? In today's episode of Rise, Grind, Repeat, we talked to JP Brandvig, a local realtor. Today we talk about different marketing tactics and strategies that JP can use to help create more demand for your home, ultimately allowing you to sell it for a higher price. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's hop right in. The main question is, do you have the type of content or type of videos that you want to get out there? Is it going to be a more frequently asked questions where you're answering all the questions that you get, the most common ones, kind of going over those, or is it a mix of that and then kind of like what Jennifer's been doing with bringing people that just bought a home or whatever it may be, and then doing kind of like a little video with them, some of your clients, or a little bit of everything?
I think it'll be just kind of a little bit of everything. I've got a few ideas, and I guess I could ultimately probably string together like a series of videos. The last one that Jen and I did was, just talking about, do we get pre-qualified first or do we speak with the realtor first?
Yeah.
That's a pretty common question, right? And so we just did a little quick short video on that. And so then I was thinking about, okay, well, I could do another video on just kind of like a quick breakdown of the buying process.
Yep.
Right. So very, very brief, very general, just to give somebody who's maybe never bought a home or has bought a home 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It doesn't matter how many times people buy homes.
Yeah.
They still don't remember the process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So
it's a process that you don't really want to, it's not something like I need to remember. It's a long one.
Exactly. And that's our job, right? Is to break down that process and make sure that we stay on that process. That's ultimately my job as a realtor. So, but yeah, I mean, just do a brief video kind of breaking down the process. And then I've even thought, I could even go further in depth in each step, okay, you've got the qualification process, and then we've got, we go out and we're looking at homes, and as far as writing up a contract and different ways that we can write up contracts depending on your situation, because everybody's buying situation is 100% different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there's things like concessions and stuff like that that can be negotiated to help a buyer with their current position.
Yeah.
So I could go into a more in-depth, 3-minute long, 4-minute long video on that, or the inspection period, or the appraisal process, or then the closing and all that stuff, And
are you looking more for the buyer or the seller, or so what is your typical audience or the people that you help? Is it more buyers or sellers? And then is there a more first-time home buyers, like empty nesters that are getting older and looking to downgrade or moving up, or is it a little bit of everything?
So it's really just a little bit of everything.
Gotcha.
I mean, the way our lead sources kind of come in and the way that we prospect, I would say, I guess maybe we're a little more buyer heavy right now. We would like to be more listing
I guess that
heavy,
would be a better question.
because,
what would you like to be?
I guess listings, if you will, are maybe a little bit easier or less time consuming than the buying process. Because a lot of the times, and this is just me being honest, a lot of the times when we go on a listing presentation and if we get something under contract, there's a lot of work on the front end to get it listed and do all the right things and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's easier to manage that once you've got the listing rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Because then I'm just, I'm trying to get showing scheduled and maybe do open houses, stuff like that. But then, on the buyer side, it's not uncommon for us to work with buyers that might take 4 to 6 months to transact.
Right here.
No, you're like super easy though, right? So, my partner Nick, he's got a guy that he's literally been showing properties to,
Oh, wow.
every couple weeks for the last 5 months.
He just can't find the one he wants, or
Well, there's just It's circumstantial. Like there's a lot of things in his personal life that can, be a hiccup or a hindrance or, whatever the case might be, and slow that process down. It's like they're going one direction and everybody feels like they know what direction they're going. And then all of a sudden something comes up in in their life, with what they have going on in the first place that maybe redirects that direction.
Yeah.
Right. And so now it's like, okay, well, we've got a new avenue that we need to research,
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Everybody buys real estate on their own time.
Yeah.
And so ultimately we're there to support in any way that we can. But, from a standpoint of, if you were to ask which one's, I guess, easier, if either of them are easier, listings, you can work, 15, 20 listings at a time.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and then plus you don't have to deal with, can we get you qualified? And even though you're looking here, you only qualify here. Do we wait, or do we wait and try and get you up to where you would be here by either paying off debts or saving? And there's just more people in the process.
More moving parts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
Sure. But managing 15 to 20 buyers at once, if they were all like hot to trot and ready to rock and roll, like, I've got 15 buyers. They're all pre-qualified. They're all wanting to get into doors. I mean, there's only so many hours in a day where you can go and show, I go and show 4 or 5 properties, and it can take 2 to 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between drive time, between doors, and spending 15, 20 minutes in the property and that sort of thing. So it can be pretty time consuming.
Yep. Yeah. And is there any part of the valley that you guys are wanting to focus on, or that you guys specialize in, or is it?
That's actually kind of a funny question, because, we work a lot of the East Valley in general. I've done a lot in Scottsdale. We've done Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert, Ahwatukee. I myself, live in Santan, so I'm familiar with Santan, Queen Creek, and 30 years ago, it was like you had a very specific area that you wanted to be in, and you found a realtor that specialized in that area.
Yeah.
Because listings weren't active on the MLS, like just to go on the internet and search a general geographical area for what's available. It was literally like, sheets that were printed out, and you'd have a book that you'd flip through day by day, to see what listings are active. So it definitely was beneficial to have a specialist, if you were, for that area. But, anymore, I can be a specialist anywhere with the internet.
The data's been commoditized.
The data's there.
Yeah.
You tell me where you want to be.
Yeah.
I can find everything that's available in that area. You say, well, we want to write an offer. What's the house worth? Okay, let me spend 30, 45 minutes running comps in that area, because it's all online, and I'll hone in exactly what that property is worth today, right now. I don't need 10 years of experience in Seville to know exactly what Seville's values are.
Yeah.
And especially in today's market where prices are fluctuating so much to begin with,
Yeah. How have they trended the last couple weeks? I guess month or two.
Yeah, so first quarter is definitely starting to pick back up.
Is it?
There's a lot of active buyers out there. Listings are starting to kind of pick up a little bit. I don't necessarily know that we'll see I don't think we're going to see like the appreciation that we saw in 2018. 2018 was pretty crazy. But there's definitely still active buyers. Interest rates are good, and I think that's, so that's strong.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
So, it sounds like, there's we want to attack South Scottsdale more, or more of the first time home buyer. It's kind of, you just want to get out there, Yeah, because there's no really any limitations to where you're specializing in or anything like that. And so
because we get a lot of out-of-state buyers too. So if I were a specialist in one, if I just focused in one specific area, when I get an out-of-state buyer that might not really know where they want to be, I'm useless to them.
Yeah.
If I only know one spot, then hey, it's either you're going to fit in there or you're not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I try not to limit myself to any one particular area. Yeah. I try to be as knowledgeable as possible, across the entire East Valley. That's the majority. We've sold a couple houses over on the west side, so it's not like we don't go over there.
Yeah.
But we primarily focused in the East Valley. So
awesome. And would this just be you that would be doing videos, or would it be you and Jennifer doing it, or would it just be you and then every once in a while someone else?
Yeah, it really just kind of depends. I mean,
cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know if you and Jennifer were coming at it together or.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, if we've got a video or if I've got an idea in my head that fits with bringing her on and having that lending expertise, then yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I know she's up to do them as well. So awesome. She's trying to get more of a Facebook presence or social media presence as well with videos.
Yeah, and I think, as we were talking earlier, photos were big. People started doing more of them, so they're not as impactful. And now videos, it's tougher to get in front of a camera and talk, and there's just not as many people doing it. And plus, all the platforms are trying to reward it because people engage with videos. So if you're doing it, they're going to show you to more people, and it just helps you get out there quicker to more people. Yeah. And so there's would love to help. As much or what we can help with. It sounds like you have a pretty good idea of the type of content you want to do. What we can do from a research standpoint is look at what are people searching for in either just Tempe or the specific geos or just in real estate in general. And then what you can do where this comes into play is if you start seeing particular questions that are coming up, then answer them on video. And then where this comes into play is, you have it on your website or it's on YouTube. And when someone types in that particular question, you're answering it. So all of a sudden you start showing up number one on Google, and then someone watches your video. Oh, wow, I loved this content. What else do you have? And then it just starts that you brought me value. You're someone I want to do business with.
Exactly.
And basically it would be using what people are actually looking for. What questions do people have? And then just answering them through video. And we can do the keyword research to prioritize what those are. There might be 40,000 searches for this one question and only 10 for this one. And it can help with the prioritization if you would want help with that. Do you have an idea of, would you want to be coming in here or out and about, or what are your thoughts there?
Obviously, like I was saying earlier, I think, it'd be cool to do a video in here is fine, where maybe we go over from a listing standpoint the importance of professional photography or, video drone footage and that sort of thing. And then it's literally just kind of kicking it over to you and you talking about kind of what you guys do and your, equipment and capabilities and all that stuff. Right. So that way, maybe I've got other realtors that watch the video and maybe they don't use anybody right now. Maybe they're taking photos off of their camera and they're the first ones that I click off their listing because their photos are trash and I can't get a good feel for the layout of the property, right? Yeah. Because ultimately I've got a client, they have a need and they've expressed what that is. And so I'm searching for that product for them. And if you give me 5 photos of a house and I've got a client that they want an open floor concept, they want, double sinks in the master bath or whatever the case might be, certain colors and, from a decoration standpoint, you know, and then I'm clicking through the listing and I see that there's only a couple photos or the lighting's terrible. And so I can't tell, like, okay, is that like white or is that like a yellow color?
And then
you know what I mean?
It's I mean, if you don't know and that's something that you're dead set on and you don't want to waste your time on it, now you just lost a buyer because
I'm not going to go and show a property if I don't think that that's going to fit.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, or another big one is they're using their phone and they can only get so close. And so they'll give you this like photo of the bathroom and it's like so in your face because they don't have a wide angle lens. Yeah. And so I have no clue what the bathroom looks like. And even I see is a shower door.
Yep. Like, and even then people will take pictures inside the doorway, which shrinks what it looks like, and then take it from up here rather than down here, which shrinks it. So then it's visually it doesn't look as big or spacious. And so I mean that's why I'm excited to talk to you and see what we can do from that aspect of helping you guys with the marketing, because I think there's so much opportunity out there from, I mean, before working with you, I mean, as Haley and I were looking, there's, I mean, even some of the videos, very few videos there are out there, but it's with the phone and it's shaking. And I mean, it's, and there's so much opportunity out there for it. But even then, like, I would love to do that, like, what you can do with drone footage and all that, but that would be more towards realtors, and you're wanting to hit more of the buyers and sellers, right? Yeah. So I mean, I would love to be part of it, but I don't know if there's a ton of value I could bring being on it, because like I said, that would be for more of the realtors. I couldn't help the buyers and sellers, but to that point, I mean, I'm in market now, so I can come from a consumer perspective. But even then, like you brought up the decorating stuff, if there's someone that you know that does a really good job at that, it would be huge to bring them on. And then, I mean, you could even do a video and kind of where I was going, asking, have you thought about doing this, is say you have someone come in and you do a 10-minute thing on how to decorate to bring more value out in the home whenever you're going to sell it or stage it. But then it's, you bring someone on and then now you get in front of their audience as well. And that's another, so having kind of a pipeline of people that you can bring on. Cause I mean, if this gets released, hey, check out this podcast that we did, and then tag you, and then now your friends see it, but then it helps give awareness to us. And so I think that would be a good avenue as well, is outside of just you giving value and discussing, but giving tips and stuff and getting professionals that are in that area and then having them on and stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that you guys can definitely bring value. It might not necessarily be a value for my buyers or my sellers that I'm trying to reach, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're all in business, right? Yeah. We're all in small business. Yeah. And so any way that either of us can help somebody else is beneficial, because I love helping people. That's why I'm in real estate, right? And so that's always my ultimate goal. And so if I can help you, who's another entrepreneur, who's, you know, doing business, I mean, that just shows my character more, through video. And the more video, the more content I have, the better, right? Exactly. So, people who might not know me as friends close up might not realize that, I want to help them. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But the more you can go out and help other people without expecting anything in return, which I don't, the key. Yeah. It's more genuine. Yeah. And so it's funny, we literally had a speaker today and he said, there's no such thing as really serving, it's more so, or there's no such thing really as like selling, it's more so serving. Yep. You have to serve to sell. Yeah. Right? And the more you're out there and doing what you like to do, and he used the example, he had us all like, if everybody knew who you were deep down, and would they want to do business with you? Raise your hand. And of course everybody's going to raise their hand because the majority of us are in it to help. Yeah. Is there a monetary gain? Of course. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've got to make a living too, right? Yeah. But so that's ultimately what it's about, is just coming across raw and
Yeah.
showing, that you care, that you want to help other people out.
Yep.
So-
And that's why I'm so huge on video is with an image, people can see it and then think what they want. Whereas video, they can hear your voice, hear your tone, see your body language. See, it helps them connect with who you are as a person, and that helps build that trust and that them saying, you know what, this is someone I want to work with. Where an image can do it, but it might take 1,000 images to get that feeling where 1 or 2 videos can do the same thing. And so you're just expediting that process in which they build the trust with you and then reach out and say, hey, I want to buy or sell a home.
For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know like what your budget is or anything like that, but if it's something where we could do, you can come in and we can do something like this where it's now that you're producing more, is it bringing leads? Is it and basically from the marketing perspective, you're wanting to do this to raise awareness so that it brings you more opportunities to either help people buy or sell homes. I would love to, hey, how is this working? And then kind of document our process as we do it and help figure out what type of video should we do, what shouldn't we do, and using the analytics to help see these types of videos are doing better. When we have this background, it does better. When we have this copy, it does better. And the whole evolution of that. And then as we do more, it helps your conversion rate where 100 people see it, maybe only one person reaches out, but then in a couple months after 100 people see it, then you have 10 people reaching out, and how we're continually doing that. And so, there might be some trade that we can do there. But
no, it's all good stuff.
Yeah. How soon are you looking to get started? Because you have your first one already.
Yeah, right. Kind of on the spot, off the cuff. No, I mean, I did one, I think it was like the first week of last month of January, something like that. So, I mean, I'm ready to, get in here and do a little quick video.
So is it just a matter of just nailing down like a content calendar, kind of here's a list of videos and then let's just set up time and do it?
Well, I think, for hours, just more so narrow down some time to shoot hours.
Yeah.
And, and kind of throw that one out there. And then I think some of the videos I'll probably do, just off the cuff. I feel like it's so funny. Like the video that Jen and I did was terrible. It was terrible. Like, like we're not centered, the camera angle was off and we did it first take, like, just totally just wung it, but I think that's the cool part about it because we're, at the end of the day, we're human.
Yep.
And, if I come across too polished and then it's a total tip off that I'm trying to sell you something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I just talk to you like I would any other human being that I'm going up and I'm doing a, buyer consultation and showing you, hey, this is how the process works.
Yeah.
Then odds are you're going to feel a lot more comfortable, so, but yeah, that first one we just kind of did. And it was funny because I literally had a guy that I had been talking to for months now, like, hey, man, when, you've got a family, you've got a good paying job, you guys are renting right now, like, have you thought about buying? What that process looks like? And, he kind of, we're not ready yet, and kind of pushed me off a little bit, and which is fine. And then we did that video, and he literally called me like the next day, and he was like, hey, dude, he was like, I saw your video. It made a lot of sense. Like, we do want to buy, and we know that it's like we might be 6 to 9 months out, but your video told us that that's a common thing.
Yeah.
And so, I've got him in contact with Jen, and she's helping them get in a position to now buy a house. And so, I'm sure within the next 6 to 9 months, we'll be out looking at houses
How many people do you think that you might lose contact with because they know that they're that 9 months out, but don't want to let you know that in fear of, and
all the time.
And so by just communicating that you're not the only one that's doing this. This happens. I mean, ideally, I would love to sell every home in a week. I mean, but life happens. And so by showing that, it helps, again, people just feel the trust, and then it helps them relate to, hey, I'm not the only one, and you make them feel a little bit better. But then it's you. I think the biggest thing is the fear of trying to be sold whenever I'm not ready right now. I'd rather just not deal with it. And so, I mean, I love that. That's literally.
There's so many, you know, in any profession, there's always the bad ones. It never fails, right? And so there's so many realtors out there that might have a ulterior motive that they're trying to push you to buy something outside of your comfort zone or outside of your time frame or whatever the case might be. Yep. And so then we all get labeled with that stigma, right? And so I feel like to most people, we're just another salesperson. Yeah. You know, we're another used car salesman. Yep. You know, and I wish my CRM was linked up to my social media so they could see videos like that. Well, so I mean, we've got a CRM that we use, Boomtown.
It's not integrated to.
No, it's not integrated directly to my social media, so they can't just go unless they go and do a private search themselves for me on Facebook or whatever. It's not like it's linked up to my website or our CRM database on the backside.
Because I know there are some CRMs that once they're in the CRM, and then, it connects to social channels, but then it shows the attribution where it's like, Sally saw that video, and then you can see 3 days later or whatever it may be, reached out, and then you can start pinpointing again what channels, what content, what it is that's driving that. Hey, I want to, because once you know that, then it's easy to have that conversation, and that's you just need to know what's holding someone back, and then be able to speak to that.
So our CRM will pull your information like it did. Yeah. Right when you guys went on there and you had inquired. So if I put somebody in my CRM, if it can link based off of, I don't know what exactly the criteria it is. I would imagine it has something to do with name and their email address or phone number. If it can link a social profile, it will. Nice. So then I have the ability to go on and see your social profile, but you don't necessarily have the ability to go in and see mine.
Gotcha.
Right. Gotcha. So all you see is my dusty mug in a photo, that I send over, and that's about it. But yeah, I get people all the time on my CRM with leads that come through that, they put in there that they're 6+ months out. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
Because you're probably going to live a lot longer than 6 months. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm in the business for the long haul, right? So it's like, I'm fine if you're 6 months. I'm fine if you're 12 months or 2 years out. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me as long as I have the ability to, just stay in contact and answer any questions when you are ready, or, I can help you get in touch with somebody that can essentially put together a roadmap of your end goal. Again, it's your goal. It's not mine. Yeah. My goal isn't necessarily to, sell you something. Yeah. My goal is to facilitate, a dream that you have of owning a home. Yeah. And so many times they, as soon as I reach out or I call, oh, we're not ready yet. We're 6 months, 9 months out, and they feel like, okay, well, I know what I need to do, and then I'll reach out when I'm ready, but I can't even tell you how many times they do what they feel they need to do. Yeah. They reach out, and then we have to say, hey, sorry, we're actually maybe like 2 to 3 months out now. Yeah. Whereas had we caught you 9 months ago, we could have given you the roadmap and showed you exactly how to get there, exactly when you wanted to get there, Exactly. And so, yeah, when I first moved out here, I said I want to buy a home by, this date. And by the time I turned 30, and I went and spoke with a lender that my aunt set me up with, and, I was like a year and a half out, 2 years out. But I had a roadmap. Yep. And I bought a home 2 weeks after I turned 30.
Wow, really?
So that's cool. Was just, But had I not known where I needed to go, I would have never gotten there.
Well, I mean, without GPS, I mean, anything, without having direction, you're kind of just wandering around aimlessly. And it's like, I mean, that's why I loved whenever Haley and I came in, and it was, here's everything, here's the scenarios, and then it was, here's the roadmap of what you guys need to do to get here. And it's like, I mean, the roadmap you gave me, if it was just me and it wasn't you guys, I would have done completely different. I would have used the money completely different, paid this thing off, or done whatever, but having that, and it's like I could have wasted a couple $1,000s paying things off or doing whatever, and by having that roadmap, you helped show what I need to do, and then it's easier to be comfortable whenever you know exactly where you're going.
Yeah. Not to mention time. We can't get time back.
How often do we talk about time in here?
Yeah.
Like time is so valuable. I mean,
you can't get time back, so I mean, that time for you could literally be the difference of a 4 3/4% interest rate and a 5.5% interest rate.
Yeah.
And now you're pissed because you missed out because you were 3 months delayed, and now your payment's $100 more a month.
Yeah. Which now just
when it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, no, I mean, that's what it really kind of boils down to. So.